Carlos, will you make sure that we are live?
Yeah, we're live.
All right. Oh, okay. Anything else specific we want to talk about, Chase? Do we want to talk about the gym? Do we want to talk about? We'll talk about PNW, the Bronco, what you got coming up, those kinds of things. We'll dig into kind of a recap of the path that got you to where you're at and kind of what's next for you. You good with all that?
Yeah, perfect, man. Okay. Let's keep it organic and real.
Yeah, well, that's what we do.
We're organic. We have that little sticker that says organic on our podcast.
We're if we looked better, maybe we would possibly be fake, but this is as real as it gets.
Dude, I'm wearing my Dodger hat tonight. Like, I look pretty good.
If you say so.
I do.
Okay. All right. Casey, try not to gobble the microphone tonight. Let's keep that away. No breathing into the microphone or coughing.
I put that filter back on.
Good. All right, you guys ready? Oh wait, let me make sure the recording is going. All right, 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, it is 6:30 on Tuesday night. We are live on YouTube as we are on Tuesday nights. Tonight we are joined by one of the coolest and sexiest people on Instagram. One of our favorite people.
I've been here for weeks, dude.
One of our favorite people on
here every week,
Instagram.
I'm here every week.
We've had the ability to talk to this guy and his wife a couple times. We've got the ability to go hang out and camp with this guy, and we've watched kind of his meteoric rise to superstardom. I think I saw his name on the Hollywood Walk of Fame while I was there last week. But hey, Chase Gentry, how are you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good. Thank you. That was quite an introduction. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. I think back to, and if we were good at what we did, we would have looked back at what episode it was the first time we interviewed you. But it was early on. We had you and Jackie on. It was shortly after you broke your ankle, and you guys were doing your Adventure Overland thing and building your business and starting the gym and all of those things. And if you have not yet, please go back and find those episodes and listen to them, because I think having that context of where these guys came from and where Chase started to where we're now is going to have it'll help provide the background to what some of the stuff we're going to talk about tonight. But I think about how we had that conversation with you a couple years ago. We hung out with you in 2020 at the Icon booth. You have now moved on to bigger and better things, and the three of us are still sitting in my spare bedroom. So while we're super, super happy for your success, it kind of makes us question what we do. So let's talk about where you're at right now and what you're doing. I mean, obviously, you're coming off the back end of Pacific Northwest Overland Expo. We'll talk about it in a minute. But where are you at in the world today?
Right now, I'm currently sitting in Expedus and Essentials shop in Ferndale, Washington, where they manufacture a bunch of stuff. I'm up here, doing some collaboration with them and some content. But we're just coming off of Overland Expo Pacific Northwest, which was about 7.5 hours south of where I'm currently sitting. Right now, I'm 20 minutes from the Canada border, so I'm way at the very top. I'm 40 hours from my house, so give you perspective on how far I am. And I did not fly here; I drove here. So I'm a long ways from home, man.
Quick side note: Adventure episode 64. March 21st, 2019 was his first.
Wow.
2019. Dang.
We were all just kids then.
I know.
Imagine how the times were then. Like, you could just go anywhere you wanted. You didn't have to worry about anything. There wasn't like viruses out to kill you.
Yeah. It was BC before COVID, AC after COVID.
As Cody said, the before times.
The before times. Yeah. And I feel like if what we're doing today was better than what we did in 2019, I would feel a little bit better about myself. But it's pretty much the same show. So the Overland.
I got a Frontier since he's been on.
Oh, that's true.
I think.
That's true.
Maybe.
That's true.
So did me and Jose.
Yeah.
Dang,
that's true.
Frontier buddies.
We've made our full transition.
Talk about infectious things.
The show's made a full transition at this point. So going back to that,
the infectious things are playing Coachella.
They're opening. They're opening for full transition.
Couldn't help
so talking about this. So going back to that episode and the things that you guys were doing originally. One of the things that you have been always really, really good at, and I believe we talked about it at the time, was the ability to capture content in a high volume manner without making it cheesy or corny or awkward, or like you've been able to authentically document your life on social media in a way that makes the rest of us feel like we're joining the journey with you. And I don't know if you went to a special college class to learn that, or if that's just who you are, but let's talk a little bit about that when you started doing social media stuff back then in the 2018, 2019 time, and kind of what your philosophy was to build and grow that platform.
Yeah, man. So that's really interesting that you brought that up, because it's, I guess, as the more and more I do it and the more and more, I guess, exposure comes my way, whatever, that seems to be exact way that people keep telling me that it's presented to them from a third perspective looking at it. Is that it's real and it's live action in the moment. So for me, no, I did not go to school for it. I worked in an industry where I was sitting at a desk for a lot of hours, 6 days a week, and I would watch, people doing things that honestly just kind of made me want to do the same things or live vicariously through those other people. And I think that being as real and as authentic as possible is what I enjoy most when I'm actually physically doing it. And so I'm literally just capturing the things that really excite me in the moment, in the raw, in the now. And then, so I just put that out there. I don't worry about it being, obviously I want it to be presentable, but if I start to focus too much on how I'm capturing or telling a specific story, I feel like for me, I start to lose interest in the actual environment that I'm putting myself into, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're trying to create an environment, you lose the authenticity of the actual environment. But I've also think that you, over time, you have honed in on the skills that are allow you to capture stuff in the moment and real, but still high quality. It's not like super shaky and crappy. And I don't know if that's an equipment thing or just a skill set thing, but you're still able to capture real life, everyday moments, turn them into content without it being like, oh my God, this guy, what's he doing with his camera?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do obviously, I watch a lot of, it's ironic. I watch a lot of YouTube to learn how to be better at it, but I honestly still struggle creating YouTube for myself.
As do all of us when you figure it out. Yeah.
So YouTube,
I'm sorry. Did you see that in your screen?
No.
Oh, that was epic. Oh my God. We're not going to.
So this is a podcast.
This is a podcast, but you have to go watch the YouTube video. At least that moment right there. That was well.
That's why you got to tune in at 6:30 on Tuesdays.
Oh my God, that was awesome.
Jeff's over here cracking up. I have no idea what he did.
Great job, Jeff. Great job.
Granola bars to Jeff.
Kudos to Jeff. We got to get Jeff on the show. That's for sure.
But he has to wear the bag.
Yeah.
So going back to that, you were talking about how watching a lot of YouTube to try to figure out how to get better at it and still struggling to build it.
Yeah.
And,
So for me, like on YouTube, I struggle with capturing and telling a story now that gets published at a later point in time. Whereas like Instagram, for me, I really enjoy it because it's live action right now. And I don't know if you guys notice enough, but like when I'm home, my Instagram sort of slows down because I sort of chill out, I guess. It's kind of like my time. And then when I'm out, it's like, all right, cool. This is something having fun. Post. Mm-hmm. And then I kind of take a break when I get home. Mm-hmm. So yeah, man, I want people to see what I'm seeing, just a lot of people don't have the privilege that I have. I've been very fortunate to make some really awesome relationships that have, allowed me to cover more ground than I never would have thought I'd be burning this many miles and busting this many bugs, to be honest with you guys.
Yeah.
I think I just learned something. Like, I'm just going to start posting live on Instagram when I post up like change order, like
no one wants to see you poop, dude.
And here comes a RFI. You know, I'll post that RFI. Hey, everybody, check it out.
This is the fourth live today that Matt's been on the toilet. We should get him to a doctor and find out what's wrong with him.
Well, it depends on time of the day. If it's at the end of the day, number 4 is like, come on, that's everybody does that. If it's before lunch, like, that's problematic.
Point, my man.
Hey, Chase.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you're stuck in a weird paradox because like your videos are about being in the moment and stuff, but creating these videos takes you out of the moment because you're so concentrated on capturing the content? Like, is it kind of like is it a weird paradox that you feel like you're in because you're there doing the stuff, but you're not really appreciating it because you're trying to get the shot? I mean, do you relive it like when you go through the video again, or?
Man, that's a really good point. And sometimes, yes, there has been times where I feel like I lose sight of the incredible landscape that 100%, man. You know, and so I'm honestly still, I guess, personally struggling with trying to not let the social media obligations overtake my true passion for wanting to be outdoors, because that's the whole heart of it all, you know. So
a moment in time doesn't necessarily ruin an entire, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're just actively recording and showing people, hey, this is what I'm going through, for a 30-second clip or a minute and a half isn't like, oh, you know, I took myself out of the moment and I can't enjoy the rest of the 5 hours I'm on this trip or whatever.
But on the trips where we've tried to get content, it's become more about the content than the trip.
Yeah, because we're not good at it.
100%. 100%. Like for me, for photos, sorry, man. Like photos, I really feel myself that exact sentiment. Like, man, I go out there, I got to get photos, and like I just
because you're doing it. Like you're doing what people want to do. You're actually experiencing it. So that's why people follow you. You're kind of obligated to do it. I'm sorry, but if I could flip it around on you, you know.
But I think that's true. And maybe I'm looking at it from the outside in, Chase. But I would think as an aggregate, the experience that you get is still worth the work and effort, right? So if you're on a trail for 7 hours and 4 of those hours are content related, and then you get to sit by the campfire and you film for 30 minutes, there's still a good portion of that day that you can immerse yourself in that moment. And when you come home, you get, to Jose's point, relive that stuff when you go through the video and all the stuff. So I would think that, yes, it diminishes the immediacy of the appreciation in that moment, but at the same time, you're still getting, even if 50% of it was great essential moments, that's 50% more than maybe you wouldn't have had, you know what I mean? The opportunity to do. So I could totally see both ways, and I'm not discounting either one of those positions, but I mean, overall, from the outside looking in, it seems like you're getting to do a lot of fun things.
100%.
And I know 100%. It's a lot of work because I've seen you do it.
Yeah, I guess, you know, it's not uncommon for me to like get home and, you know, once I, you know, compose, whether it's a 15-second Instagram reel or a 30-minute YouTube video, you know, it's not uncommon for me to literally watch my own content over and over again, which sounds weird.
It doesn't to me. I listen to every show. On Thursday, and I listen to the sound quality, the microphones, when we kick this and when we did that every week. And some weeks I'm like, oh yeah, we nailed it. That was good. Other weeks I'm like, man, I really wish we would have done that better. Yeah.
Well, you know, like, you know, everyone's got their own, you know, like state of adventure or what they do that is their, I guess, passion. And, you know, like some people go fishing every single day. That's what they do. You know, and like for me, I honestly, capturing is part of the passion for me, because I like going back and like, man, I did that, you know, and like, I don't really have that thought in my head, like when I'm doing it, but after the fact and it's composed and I look at it like, wow, I can't believe I got to do that, you know, and like I did that, or drove up something that's like, I don't know, unobtainable or you can't get to it, and I did it. Yeah. And then I can really appreciate it, I guess, again, kind of like you're saying. So yeah.
So let's go back now that we've spent 20 minutes about, you know, kind of where you're at now. Let's go back to kind of talk about the genesis of your affiliation with Ford and the Bronco. I mean, you were doing social media under a different name, and then over time, and I remember you and I having some. Let's go back to 2020 at the King of the Hammers event. We met up with you and Jackie. We got to hang out and camp with you guys. We still talk about that regularly. How cool that event was with the group of people that were there. It's one of the most epic trips we've ever had.
Yeah. 100%.
And I think shortly after that, you and I had some conversation where you're like, "Hey, some stuff's coming up. I'm really excited about." And so let's pick it up from there, from that 2020 King of the Hammers, because I think shortly after that is when this whole journey began, right?
Yeah, man. So King of the Hammers is the last week of January going into February, and September 11th of 2020. So right before that King of the Hammers. I got an Instagram DM, from Ford, essentially asking if I was interested in participating in an upcoming vehicle launch. And at that point in time, Bronco had not been officially publicly announced.
Why didn't we get that?
Yeah. So let me ask you.
Yeah,
because I tell you what, if I got
was that in your spam folder?
Yes, if I
don't check my
DM
spam folder
with a blue logo on it, I would immediately think that Matt and Jose were trying to mess with me.
Dude, so let me tell you, man. I
gotta start checking that spam folder, man. I bet you that's where mine went.
I feel kind of bad now because, I'm sure you guys get it too, and everybody in the world does. You get all 1,000 stupid spam, whatever DMs, and every day, whatever. And so, this message comes in, and obviously he says that, and I'm like, whatever, yeah, right. Who? It's just no way. And I responded back kind of arrogantly along the lines of that. And typically, what's ironic is I don't even read them. I just delete them because I don't have time for this. I respond to every single person that comments or DMs me, every single one. It might take me a while, but I respond to everybody. And so I'd rather spend more time talking to somebody that is a fan versus bullshit. Yeah, essentially.
Agreed.
Anyway, so I responded back kind of arrogantly, and I got a message back. It was like, no, I can understand how it would seem that way. You should definitely, dig a little deeper. And then I got a link, and then it was like, I got to, we can communicate via email. And then a 5-page NDA from Ford Motor Company hit my email, and I'm like, this is not bullshit. So I signed it real quick in a hurry, sent it back, and then, that's kind of how the progression of it started. And it wasn't like an immediate thing. There was obviously they're looking at a bunch of different people, and it kind of dwindled and funneled down to, a select group of people. And then that's, 2 years later, we're working, with Ford essentially on parts of things. So yeah, it's honestly, man, it's still mind blowing to be honest with you guys.
And the funny thing about that, at the time, you were driving the Tacoma.
I had Tacoma still, yeah.
Yeah, you weren't. It wasn't. I'm going to make some assumptions here. They weren't drawn to the fact that you were already a Ford fanboy, and you already had some connection with the Ford. They were drawn to the fact of they were drawn to the content that you were creating at the time and the stories you were telling, and that. So let's step back again. That goes back to 2017, 18, 19 when you first started this. And for people that are content creators out there, they're like, man, I've had my Instagram page for 6 weeks and I haven't gotten a sponsorship yet. It's years. It's years, especially now.
Yeah, man. I started my Instagram page middle of 16.
Yeah.
So, that's 4.5 years later that this came to be. And I didn't sign a contract with Ford until 2021.
Yeah. I've seen some comments and had some conversations with people like, I'm just trying to figure out how to get the money and the sponsorship and stuff. Oh yeah. How long have you been doing it? 6 months, dude.
Yeah. That's
if you can, let's be completely genuine. If you figure out how to do it in 6 months and get to the place that you want to be, more power to you, man. I'm super impressed at that. But there are a lot of people out here that started this in 2016, 2017 and are just starting to see the fruit bear fruit from those trees that they set. It takes time, is what I'm saying.
It does. It does, man. And people, that's the sad thing about stuff is that everyone kind of wants the quick fix or whatever, and you got to work for stuff. That doesn't matter what it is. If you're not putting in the work and making relationships, and again, Most important thing is being authentic and genuine. There's a lot of bullshit. And like, I honestly hate the terminology influencer. I hate being referred to as that because like this all happened organically by me just sharing my hobby and my passion for being outdoors. And like, I like to drug over shit.
Yeah.
So like, you know, and it
that's
took
why
me
they chose
literally,
you.
Yeah.
yeah, you know, and like before all this happened, I spent 3.5, 4 years driving across the country on my own dime, buying my own parts, making my own relationships, and literally going to booths and like making people get on my story and introduce myself. It took 3 to 4 years to like halfway create some sort of name.
Yeah.
And then post that is when things started to like, hey, who's that dude that like is always at all these events or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
You know, then it's like, hey, that guy's it's real. It's not, give me your parts right now. Well, have you made any sort of investment in these people? Or, you know, like how you know, you got to buy something at first, show them some sort of value that you can give to them before you just want stuff in return, you know?
I was talking to someone the other day that was, someone was reaching out to a company that I'm not affiliated with. So just make sure we know that. And they were saying that this person was on like, hey, if you give me this stuff, then I will do these posts and this other stuff. And they were like, wait a minute, what have you done up to this point? And they're like, well, nothing yet because you haven't given me anything.
Oh yeah.
And it's so crazy that there are people that think that that's how that works. Oh, you give me stuff, then I start building the relationships and the content and all that stuff. 100%. If there's anything you can take away from this conversation with Chase, use his work ethic and history as an example.
If the Dodgers will pay me $30 million a year, I'll hit 40 home runs every year.
Yes.
That's how that works.
Yes.
No,
yes.
no, you won't.
No, you won't hit shit. But my point being that you have to do the work first.
Yeah.
Before getting the recognition and the sponsorships and the parts and the vehicles and all that stuff. And
well, loyalty, you know, like you know, there's so many guys, man. I know personal friends that like that they just flip ship quick. You know, like there's no loyalty involved. And like for, you know, I own a small business and nothing is free. You know, everything costs money. In today's day and age, like everything costs twice as much as it should.
Yeah.
You know, and so like for any company manufacturer to want to give you something or, you know, discount, even a discount is still of huge value to people, including myself, you know, and like if you're not going to make some sort of investment first and stay loyal and help represent that brand or individual and just flip around, like there's no relationship to be made long term for you both mutually to grow and benefit from.
Yeah, and
I did say the Dodgers, and I've been a loyal Dodger fan my entire life, so I just want to put that out there.
Man, if they paid you $40 million, you'd be the world's most expensive bat boy, dude.
I'd probably be the most handsome. I'd probably be the most handsome.
He'd be pointing out there to be like, hey, can you toss that bat over here? It's hot and I don't want to walk out there. Talking about discounts and stuff, we're in an environment now with shipping costs and all that stuff. A discount off of a product could potentially put an organization in the red on that specific transaction because of
100%.
shipping. Especially in the overland and off-road world, where some of these products are oversized
100 plus pounds.
Yes, and it's you know, so there's a much larger picture to consider that, and some companies are willing to do it, but they're willing to do it with the reassurance that they're going to get something back for that. And the only way that they get that reassurance is if you have a history of consistently delivering that content.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, like right now, especially, you know, like margins are tighter, you know, even for me as a gym owner, like the margins are just smaller for everybody. And like nobody wants to increase prices and piss their existing customers or potentially new customers off by raising prices. But like with the way that inflation is right now, shit costs more. So it makes margins a lot tighter. So if there's a discount, like that's a big deal for some people, you know, and like it just, people don't understand or realize that. And to be honest with you guys, if you don't own a business, you're never going to understand, you know, like it's just facts. All like right. Until somebody's their livelihood is on the line, they're not going to understand that terminology, you know?
All right, I'll rescind my offer. I'll do it for $20 million.
What a deal! What a deal!
You know, again, it's loyalty. I've been a big, huge Dodger fan my entire life. I'll do it for less.
Wow, that's I'm sure Steve.
But
Kirby's-
at that dollar amount, you're practically giving him your
I'm
services
giving him
for free.
everything. I'll still be a bat boy too.
You're
I'll be a
losing
bat
out on
boy.
this deal.
I'll be a bat boy picking up the bats, and then when it's my turn to hit, I'll just pick up whatever bats on the ground, go up there, hit my home runs, go back inside. Oh, go back. I can't even go inside.
No.
I gotta just man the bat.
So
The on deck circle.
let's get Matt out of his fantasy world. So
Good luck.
Now that we've got that established, so late 2020 into 21, you're developing this relationship with Ford, and what kind of vehicle did you end up with?
So I am in, I'm on the Team Bronco Ambassador program. So I have a 2021, Ford Bronco Wild Track, which is sort of the top trim before you get to the Bronco Raptor now. It is a 4-door, and it is honestly unbiased an incredible machine. I am so stoked to be in it. There is, I think, 35 to close to 40 ambassadors total, I think, in the program right now. So, it's a really, like I said, I'm extremely honored and humbled to be a part of this program and working alongside a really rad group of people, to be honest with you guys.
Yeah, and beyond the experience of the Bronco, which we can get into because I'm sure it's awesome. I feel like this has, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like this gives you the opportunity to propel who you are from not only a content creator perspective, but from a business owner perspective, from a professional perspective, because you're at the table having conversations with people in places and organizations that you would not have been able to.
You're on the Trail Chaser podcast again.
Yeah, look at this. You're like a third. We need to get like a special smoking jacket for people to come on.
Yeah, you guys are definitely the VIPs of everybody.
Yeah. So, but you know what I mean? Like it's like that. All of a sudden you're sitting at the table with heads of marketing and other influencers that you've been watching their videos, and it's like that whole thing where like it steps up your game. Like the reason we brought 100%. Matt and Jose on the show was to step up our game. Like I needed to move higher in the organization. Then we brought Casey in and it dropped us back down to normal, but that's cool. But was that part of the experience for you?
Yeah, 100%. And it still is, man. Like I said, I'm just so grateful because I've had more opportunity in the last, 18, 19 months than not that I don't think it would have ever happened, because I think once you sort of believe something enough, you'll will it to be. It just, the timeline of it happening has definitely been exponentially like just a lot smaller time period.
Well, and I think part of that, sorry to interrupt you, but part of that is this is probably the third or fourth or fifth time that you've said the word grateful. You have always presented yourself as a appreciative, grateful, humble person that's out there doing things, right? Like you're never going to hear a story of Chase Gentry walking into the Buffalo Wild Wings and saying, "Do you know who I am?" Right? I want
no,
you know what I mean? You're not that guy. And I think that they're going back to people that are trying to be influencers. They believe that there's this level of confidence and air about them that they need to carry themselves, and you don't. You just be you. Just be Chase.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, let's be real, man. Like it's retail. I mean, Ford's trying to move Broncos, and like I'm trying to sell myself. Like retail is retail, no matter what you're selling, a service, a product, a person, whatever. Like retail is retail, and like nobody's gonna genuinely buy into something if it ain't real.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can only bullshit a bullshitter so much before it's like, I ain't gonna buy into that because it's fake. And like I refuse to be that way. I am no better than anybody. I don't know everything. I put my pants on just like all you guys, one freaking leg at a time.
You've never seen me put pants on, dude. It is amazing. When you have two messed up Achilles and you got a foot in a cast, you get creative. Somehow you get the pants from the top down. Like you figure it out. But
you're supposed to put one leg at a time.
but the difference is you're putting in the work. Going back to the gym analogy where like you want to be fit and sexy, well, you got to put in the work, right? It doesn't happen. You did that and put in that work to get to this place now. So let's Matt wanted to. Did you want to comment about?
Oh, I was just gonna say.
I can see it on your face.
Why Buffalo Wild Wings?
That's
Well, that's very specific.
if you go back on the YouTube, you see my face too. I'm like, Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, that seems oddly specific.
Yeah.
I have no idea where that came from.
Okay. All right, Carlos.
Chase just has a Buffalo Wild Wing face. Like, I'm sure he eats wings and drinks beer.
So let's confirm this. Chase, are you down with Buffalo Wild Wings?
I'll throw down some Buffalo Wild Wings.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So,
All right,
so
next time you go to a Buffalo Wild Wings,
You know who I am? I want video.
You know who I am?
Video.
You have to
I want the
film
doors
it,
to
do it
swing
live.
open like an
You
old
know who
Western
I am.
saloon.
Yeah.
and flex, like walk in. Do you know who I am? Like you're a deity, like you're the son of like some god, like Zeus or something.
He's Samson.
And then exactly. I just want to see if it works because that would be my inspiration to start working out. Like,
if you walked into Buffalo Wild Wings and were like, "Do you know who I am?" and got free wings, Matt would be like, "Fuck it, going to the gym
fuck
tomorrow."
Out of here. No, we don't, sir.
I'm quitting
Turn
my
around.
job. I'm quitting my job. I'm eating Buffalo Wild Wings every day for free.
Good.
So okay, back to reality, and I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm not a smart person. The
Tip top.
Tip top at Overland Expo PNW this weekend.
Yeah.
There was the Bronco booth where they had the Bronco Raptor and a bunch of the Bronco stuff. There was the Bronco Ride and Drive, and then I believe there was also some Ford Bronco stuff in the Skills Development Center.
Yeah, and then there was a Bronco base camp where owners actually could come hang out.
Okay, where were you at all weekend?
So I was floating between two booths. I actually wasn't there under Ford's direction. Ford. That's the thing. That's what's cool about Ford is, obviously there's a lot of content obligations. I got to post a certain amount of time. I got to submit content, stuff like that. But, they as a, huge whatever entity that they are.
Whoa,
Oh, dude, they were listening in.
Ford pulled the plug.
Wow. It was about to get juicy because Ford knew what I was about to ask.
They were like, he's already given out too much information.
He's pulling
Ford
up
was
that
like,
curtain.
nope,
He's
they're going to
pulling
pull
me-
the plug on
Yeah,
it. Look, don't say the word
Yeah.
Ford anymore because they're listening.
They're listening.
They're listening, dude.
I have no idea what just happened.
We
you
do.
revealed too much.
We know it.
do.
We know
Look,
what happened.
Ford has been monitoring our podcast
They got to Matt.
since King of Hammers, King of the Hammers in 2020, and now we're going to tell the story because it's relevant.
I don't know.
They
I
knew
don't know
you were
what they
about to
put in
give
my
us some
drink.
information.
So I didn't know, Chase. I didn't know that you hadn't heard the story. Everybody's heard this story 10 times, so I'm going to tell it again. We are standing by the campfire, and I'm having a conversation with Teresa from LGECTS, and there's a lady standing next to me. Teresa introduces me as one of the marketing people for Ford.
Yeah,
And
Teresa's badass. I know Teresa.
She's the most badass. So we're sitting there having a conversation about my Ranger. Matt and Jose, after consuming multiple beverages, walk up to the
lot of energy
campfire, walk up to the campfire and say, "Is he fucking talking about his goddamn Ford again?
That
That
piece
piece
of
of shit, Ford. All Fords are pieces of shit. My F-150 blew up piece. I would never buy a Ford blue oval, blah, 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 blah." And I'm trying to get him to shut up. And then Teresa's like, "Hey, guys, let me introduce you to the head of Ford marketing." And I was like, damn it, we're done. We're so done at that point.
Who was it?
It was a lady.
It was a... Yeah, if you said,
Are you sure about that, Jose?
If
We
you-
had had
Like
a
I
few
said, I had
beverages.
multiple energy drinks.
It could have been Henry Ford the
man.
fifth
yes,
or
yes,
whatever.
she could have
like-
been Betty Ford. I don't know.
Ford, there you go. That's why
That
we're not
is
getting any Ford sponsorships.
Golden, man. That is
Betty Ford.
that sucks, but it's golden.
It was Betty Ford. He was trying to get me and Jose to commit
It was intervention.
to 6 weeks. You son of a bitch. He said she was a Ford. He didn't say it was Betty Ford.
I'm...
You rat bastard. Oh my God. It all comes around.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
Podcast
Now
world,
I don't
I'm
feel
sorry.
Now I
I'm
don't feel so bad.
so
We did it, Jose.
I'm sorry. My point was they went out of their way to make sure that we would not have any affiliation with the Ford organization.
Not the Betty Ford.
Yeah.
Hell no.
After
You're
that
never going to get me in
conversation.
Betty Ford. Good luck with that.
Jeez,
It's a
man.
toss-up. The Blue
That is
Oval or
harsh.
Betty Ford.
Dude, I bet you if you asked that person today, they wouldn't remember.
No,
not.
for not. I'm sure.
Unless you said, "Hey, do you remember that night Brad Pitt showed up at your campfire and started talking trash about Ford?" Then maybe she'd remember.
Yeah, for as long as you guys know,
Brad Pitt in the Dodger hat and the Steve Garvey jersey.
As far as you guys know, we could all been getting Fords for free starting at that time, and you screwed it up.
Ambassadors instead of the 40.
Yeah, 43.
Shit. So, anyways, that's how good we are at what we do.
So, anyways,
I'm trying
that's
to find
off the rails officially. Off the rails.
Yeah, I'm trying to look on LinkedIn to see if I can find the lady that was.
I wonder who it was, man. I don't know.
Well,
it's hard to keep up. There's a lot of people involved, man. It's honestly hard to keep up with everybody.
Oh, I'm sure that an organization.
Please, Chase, if you ever meet just any woman from Ford, ask her if she remembers a couple of dorks.
Hey, do you remember 3 dudes from?
Three dudes
from the desert?
We could. I bet we could reach out to Teresa and find out who that was.
Oh man.
But that's
the best.
That was bad. So I don't even know where we left this off. So going back, that was when your phone cut out. So the So going back to that, we were talking about the the obligation of submitting content and that kind of thing, but you weren't at the PNW Expo as a Ford ambassador.
Well, I was there as a Ford ambassador, but I wasn't obligated to be like in the Ford, spots, I guess per se.
That's when I blanked out because I was going to ask, like, now that you're like a stooge, like, what do you have to do for Ford? Like, they make you get a tattoo or something. You know,
they check his measurements on a regular basis and be like, "You've been on the road eating too many snacks. Get back in the gym."
Yeah, I got a blue oval on my ass cheek.
You got to check out his all fans for that.
Yeah,
was in a certain spot.
I was actually in the Red Arc. The Bronco was in the Red Arc booth. I work with Red Arc, and I have a full Red Arc system inside the Bronco because obviously I drones, cameras, and all that kind of stuff. So that allows me to keep all that stuff juiced up. And then I have a trailer contract too that was basically I was in 2 Red Arc booths, but one was a trailer, one was a Bronco. So I was just kind of split up, and I just was asked to make visits at the Bronco booth and kind of show face and get some content while I was there. To obviously just promote. And Ford gives me, a stack of Ford merch. So when there is somebody that wants to come and talk to me or see the Bronco, then I'll hand them like a Ford hat or, just.
Matt will take one of those hats.
Goddamn.
Oh, that'll be the day, dude.
I went and saw, so I had maybe 30 minutes on Saturday to leave the booth to try to go find food. And then I had 20 minutes before the show started on Sunday to walk the expo to find things. And I went over and I found your rig at the Red Arc booth, but nobody was there yet. Then you and I were texting. I think it was on Sunday, right? Just texting back and forth. Hey, where you at?
Sunday morning, yeah.
And we'll talk about it a little bit later in the show, but I was slammed and I walked. I didn't leave the booth.
What was your strategy to avoid Cody? Like, did you have like a drone hovering above him? 24/7?
Yeah, he waited till I went to the bathroom and then came to the booth and was like, "I was just there. I missed you."
Yeah, brother. I had to go over to the.
Why is he Randy Man Savage, Macho Man Randy Savage when he's at the expo? Matt, that was your impression of him. Oh, brother! Why did he turn into?
Oh man, I missed you.
There you go. Better, that's better.
I'm sorry. You know what? That's Whenever I'm not sure what kind of voice to portray or like character, I always go natural Randy Macho Man.
Bonesaw isn't the answer.
Bonesaw is always Bonesaw because he's ready. That's right. You go Bonesaw without a doubt.
No, I disagree. So what other kind of things did you do this weekend at the expo, both as an ambassador of Red Arc or Bronco and as just someone attending the event?
Someone attending an event, all of us, I think we've done enough of these things to kind of know what they're about, So for me,
no, we haven't. No, we have not. Not all of us have it all. Not even. There's only 2 of us.
I know what you're talking about.
2 of us out of the 5 here have.
Well, I mean,
other 3 have not.
It's a lot of like the same vendors, just different parts of the nation, the United States or whatever. So like for me as again, I hate this word, influencer, there's a lot of people from the Pacific Northwest that can't go south or whatever if I'm at another spot. So
because we won't let them. But go
on. And it gives me as an individual an opportunity to chat with whoever wants to come and talk with me. And like I said, I DM and respond to everybody. And if somebody wants to, like somebody drove a few hours to come see me, and like that's a big freaking deal. It's like again, I'm just a dude having fun with the truck,
standing in front of another dude,
telling
him.
But that is like a weird thing. Like Look, I'm not saying anybody's ever driven anywhere to come see me, but I've certainly got that vibe. Like, I hope you don't expect me to entertain you or tell some jokes or shit myself. Like, I don't know. Like, it is like a weird thing to be out in public.
Well, yeah, it is. And, truthfully, man, I'm very privileged because, like if somebody wants to take time, like time is money. Time is valuable. Like that's the one thing that they are not making any more of. And like life is short. So if somebody chooses to spend a portion of their day to make an effort to come see me, I'm going to give them all the time that they want.
Yeah.
And so that's like awesome. These events give me that opportunity to try to, conversate and answer questions, whatever they want from me. I do my best to give it to them.
Yeah.
So that's the most important thing, because without the people following, there wouldn't be
any of these opportunities.
Yeah, it all plays on itself, and so obviously as a Ford advocate or ambassador, then I do my best to organically push the Bronco, of course, and like why not take the Bronco to an Overland Expo where it's going to get a ton of attention and give people maybe an inspiration to start a different platform or whatever. I mean, it's got a lot of benefits to it for overlanding and adventuring and whatever it is may be. And then as a so. And a Red Arc asked me to be in the booth. So that's, just physically, I don't have to stay there, but the vehicle has to be there so that way they can show. Like in the trailer, it's very much overland. In the Bronco, it's very much media. So it's two different applications doing the same thing.
Very cool.
So, same exact equipment, it just applied two different ways.
Yeah. How would you compare because the PNW Expo is the first one in that area. How would you compare that expo to either West or some of the other ones that you've been at?
Honestly, it was my favorite one.
Agreed.
Yeah, the venue was phenomenal.
You've been to one.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where's your basis?
Hold on. Let me explain what I'm saying. So not just Overland Expos. I'm talking about just events in general, from my perspective, and then based on the conversations I've had with people that were there. I think this is going to be huge. This is going to be the biggest one.
I think
going forward.
It's going to 100%. It's going to definitely overtake. West right now is the biggest Overland Expo. In that category, and I wholeheartedly think that Pacific Northwest is going to overtake West.
Yeah,
the organization of it, the venue of it, everything about it.
The lack of dust.
Yeah, I was going to say. You think it's the environment too, like the
because it was at the Deschutes County Fairground, and it's this giant.
What is that place even? It's like two convention centers there.
It's got convention centers, but it's got a lot of like livestock and cattle. And in the back where the ride and drives were like where they do equestrian events, and there's all kinds of land. It's wide open. There's very little dirt except for in the back where the ride and drives were. And so one of the comments that the people that I talked to that have been to both West and Pacific Northwest was that 30 seconds into the Expo West, everything's covered in dust. Everything's covered in dirt, and there's nothing you can do about it. Or mud or whatever. Yeah. I feel like the event was huge. Like I said, I tried to walk the event quickly and couldn't. I didn't see half of it. The only thing that
Off-Road Expo at the Fairplex huge?
Bigger.
Really?
Bigger?
Yeah, bigger than the Expo.
At the Fairplex, not the one at the Ontario.
Not the Ontario one, the Fairplex. And we could actually we can look at that from a geography perspective and see. But I picture
we don't have to
picture the Pomona Fairplex, but if all that asphalt was grass and people were camping there.
Yeah. Paved roads in between.
Yeah.
It was just really, really nice.
The one thing that I feel that they could do differently when I did get the chance to walk on Sunday morning it seemed like a lot of the vendors in the main rows were just stacked on top of each other, like tent post to tent post. And then you go over where the training centers were and some of the other areas. There were unused plots of land that they could have spread people out a little bit better. Because when I was trying to find people, like, we've made a lot of connections through this show, and I wanted to try to just go say hi to a bunch of people. And I'm running around looking at the map, and I'm looking at flags, and I don't know where their booth is. It could have been a little bit more spread out, and they've got the room to do that there.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. Definitely.
Can I comment on how directionally challenged you are? And
you were in the bathroom. You don't get a comment on this portion of the topic.
But I think it's ironic that as soon as I step back in, like, I had problems identifying where people were.
I got lost. I got lost.
And you're notorious for like following the blue dot around or whatever. And it's like
you have one job: just follow his blue line.
Yeah,
got it.
Yeah.
You're going the wrong way.
Yeah. So you got a chance to bounce around, meet a lot of people at the PNW Expo. Is that your first time up in the Pacific Northwest territory?
No, so this is my second time this far Pacific Northwest. My first time was 2019. Actually, I drove to BC, Canada from my house.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Wow,
so
that's awesome.
I did Northwest Overland Rally, and then I did BC Overland Rally. In 2019.
And how did you feel about the Pacific Northwest? Like, did you get good vibes, or like Cody, were you just instinctively, did you feel like trashing it for just being too rainy and cloudy?
Well, let's just say it's beautiful. We'll start with that.
Okay.
I like that. The whole people pumping my gas in Oregon thing, I was about ready to throw down with some people.
Crazy.
Some dude just walks up and is like, all right, hey, whoa, dude, what are you doing? Like, get out of my bubble, man. He's like, I'm pumping the gas. I'm like, the hell you are? What do you mean?
I didn't know that you were supposed to do that. I filled up the U-Haul I was driving twice in Oregon, and then a lady was like, are we supposed to pump our own gas? And I'm like, I'm from California, so that's what's happening. I don't know what you're talking about.
What does that mean?
And so in Oregon,
he violated union rules, probably.
Apparently,
New Jersey and Oregon are the only two states where you can pump your own gas.
Apparently, I would have gotten in trouble, but I didn't know that.
Yeah, they fine you.
What?
Good.
Yeah.
God, I can't wait for that ticket to come.
Wow.
To find me, they have to first find me.
Yeah.
The one thing
that was a little strange.
Yes, for sure. The one of the things that I talked about that's what Matt was referring to, is every time I go to Portland, I give a guy shit about the weather because it's cold and rainy and overcast and shitty. But
the reality is that's like a beautiful part of the country.
It's absolutely
right? I mean, I know
Yeah.
it rains a lot, but the benefit is like beautiful forests and majestic scenery, right?
It's one thing to say, yeah, but it's so beautiful. But I've never lived in that environment, so I can't say, yeah, I could deal with the rain and the cloudiness and all that stuff.
So this is what I'm getting at. Like I learned this weekend that Portland is on the west side of the mountain range. And then when you get over to Redmond and Bend, where the event is, that's considered the high desert. And it's very different environment. It's
interesting.
It's very, very different. So
it's very Hammett.
No. That's where I'm getting.
Valley.
So picture our high desert where there's a lot of
drugs.
I'm gonna say maybe
a lot of crystals.
Where there's a lot of
in drug form.
Yeah.
Where there's a lot of.
How do you get shit done with these guys?
You don't. Clearly.
We're getting it done right now, Chase. This is what we do.
This is 100%.
This is why we don't drive Broncos.
Yes.
Okay, this is why right here.
This is why. Yes.
I show up every week. The door opens. He lets me in.
What are we doing again? What the fuck?
Yes, that's exactly how the show starts every day. So where there's a lot of valleys and dirt and desert area, but it's flanked with 5-story tall pine trees and green that you've never seen before in your life.
So is it a high desert if there's a forest there?
In comparison to the forest that's on the other side, yes. I drove from I took a route from Portland all the way down to Redmond through the coast, kind of that way, and I had to stop and take pictures of the the road with more trees than I've ever seen
Yeah.
on it in my entire life. And I took a different route back where now I'm on a more wide open plain with still a lot of the pine trees and greenery. And I took video and pictures of that, and it was absolutely gorgeous. The expo was 95 and sunny, but you're also at like 6,000 feet. I didn't realize how high in elevation you were. And it was I got fried. I put sunscreen on.
Well, yeah, you're closer to the sun.
But I got more. My boss made a joke that I had more sun and sunburn in a weekend in Oregon than I have in California all year long, and he's not wrong. It was beautiful though.
It was hot during the day, and at nighttime it dipped down. It wasn't cold, but like it was definitely like really enjoyable at night.
Yeah, it was. So what was your biggest takeaway from the PNW Expo, or what did you like the most?
Man, I don't know. I don't know if I had a direct answer for that. I think just, being somewhere new for me, it was probably the most exciting part. I've done West a few times, and I've been, Southwest a lot. I spent a lot of time in Arizona, California, Moab, Colorado. A lot of that, like kind of like where everyone goes, I guess. So being up here, that just newness was probably my favorite part, just because it's my second time here.
Yeah.
So that was my, I guess, most exciting thing.
That's awesome. So now that's done, you're over at Expedition Essentials tonight. What's the calendar look like for Chase Gentry and the Bronco for the next upcoming weeks and months?
So Thursday, we're going. Jeff's going to take me out somewhere that he's familiar with in this area, and we're going to get off grid essentially, and have an actual adventure, so to speak, off grid. And then Friday morning, I will start making my way east 2,800 miles to North Carolina, where I will be linking up with Vaughn Gittin Jr. and his headquarters there. And we're going to be installing some of their RTR vehicles, parts on the Bronco, doing some content in their shop. And then the following day, he's going to take me out to Uwharrie, which is rad because I've never been there either. Mm-hmm. And we're going to go mob the Broncos together. So that's the plan. And then shortly thereafter, I will drive 20 hours home and then fly to Vegas with my wife, where she will be competing again. So
wow,
yes,
I have a very busy month.
Yeah, we hadn't really talked about that, but Jackie's been ramping up for another event. When's that event?
The 29th in Vegas.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's actually a 2-day show. This is a big deal. She hasn't competed in a while, and she competed last month. Literally took the entire show. She's absolutely kicking ass. And then this show, if she wins, she will be legitimately a pro athlete in the bodybuilding world. And then once she does that, she'll start accumulating points to compete in the Olympia, which is kind of like the NFL of bodybuilding.
I don't know how you do it, dude. She's a beast, and like she's a small beast, but I feel like she's a beast that would just kick your ass as big as you are if you pissed her off. And like, so I could imagine like your calm demeanor, like okay, yeah, but she's an absolute machine, man. She's killing it.
She is probably like we own a gym, and she from a health and physical standpoint, she is my biggest inspiration, honestly. She's an absolute I've never seen somebody so dedicated and so determined when it comes to that stuff, because that is so precise, and the level of the sleep, the food, the nutrition, she does 2 hours of cardio every day. She trains for 2 hours a day, and just the level of just consistency that is required for that.
Yeah. Well, Matt commits to at least 2 beers a day. He trains for at least 3 Dodger games of watching a week. That's the same level of commitment.
It's every Dodger game. So that's the level of commitment I have. It's every single Dodger game.
But I would like to say that, and in no way taking away from what Jackie does, because she's awesome, you have that same level of commitment and drive, just in a different direction. And that's the thing. And I'm going to, again, make some assumptions. The thing about the two of you is that you are both very, very driven as individuals to achieve individual goals while simultaneously supporting each other, even though you're
100%.
going in opposite directions and across the country and don't get to spend time together sometimes. It's really fun to watch. you guys both be successful in your respective environments because of that drive and support and dedication that you have not only to your craft but to each other.
Yeah, I mean, she's it's crazy. This conversation is going in an interesting direction. She's my best friend, and she's my biggest support system. And like I'm that for her. And it's funny, like whenever I leave somewhere, or she, competing is this. I'm away, but when I'm home, it's kind of like she's away when she's on prep, because it's sleep. All of that goes with it. And so when I leave, we have kind of like a thing, like, all right, babe, we're dividing and conquering. Go do you. Like. And just we circle back, and all of this for me, I wholeheartely believe all of the work, the time away, the sacrifices, and it's not easy, man, being on the road for three, essentially living out of a suit or Milwaukee box right now, and then being away from your wife. There's a lot to it. People just see the fun stuff that I post, but they don't realize the 17-hour drives in between to make these things. The putting on I can be beat, but if somebody wants to come talk to me, like I said, I'm going to give them everything I got, versus how physically I actually tired I actually feel.
And I'm sure there's a lot of these. Sorry, Matt. I'm sure there's a lot of these experiences you wish you could share with her, and that she was there with you. I'm sure a
100%.
lot of her days in the gym, she wishes you were there pushing her, right? But
Definitely.
you guys, you seem to find a way to make it work, and you're both achieving a lot of success doing it.
Yeah, and a lot, we're obviously we're constantly evolving. Everyone in life is a constant progression of evolution, and like we're learning now. Where we physically live creates a lot longer time that we're away from one another, because I live so far south, and the nature of what I do requires I'm literally the other side of the country right now.
Yeah.
So we're going to be relocating ourselves more centralized in December, probably Colorado or Utah.
Eastville, California, brother.
Man, but see, then it's
Fontana, California.
Fontana, California.
I hear Hemet's nice this time of year.
Yeah. So hopefully
California.
that'll shrink that time that we're away, because I'll be a little closer to home to get back sooner and have more time at home.
Yeah,
and I don't know how long I'll be doing this either. Like I'm always gonna want to adventure, but right now I'm turning as many miles as I am because of my Ford contract. I'm just totally honest. I'm maximizing on the opportunity that I currently have in my possession.
Agree. And you never know what opportunities will come as a result of that, right? I mean, you're at the table having conversations with people that may open doors to new things that may not require travel or may require more. You never know.
You could be hosting a game show in 6 months. Like, who knows? Like,
that'd be rad. Actually,
you could
wouldn't it? Like, that'd be great.
Yeah.
You
might replace me.
I was just gonna say, replace one of the guys on the show. Who knows? And if Jackie ever needs a spot or inspiration, I encourage her to reach out to Matt. I mean, he can really give her macro count and let her know what's required to
He's got
really
some great algorithms
in his workout exercise routine.
You guys talking about me? I don't think I can advise her in anything ever.
None of us could.
Please, okay.
Matt would be
chug down these beers and follow that with a couple of double doubles.
Yeah.
Oh, do the opposite of that.
Yeah.
And
You
then
see that big thing over there? Lift that. Can you lift that? That's impressive. Lift it again.
Do it again.
Just start with what not to do.
That would be my. Yeah, like if I had to come up with a program for her to compete in something,
You
like
see what I do?
do the
exact opposite of
Film
what I
a
do.
Matt's life for
100%.
a week and be like, don't be
100%.
this guy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, I was gonna ask, like, so you're sitting in the seat a long time, like a lot of driving.
Yeah.
Other than the Trail Chaser podcast, like, what do you listen to? Like, just as a point of interest, like, just what kind of music, or just is there anything that's like
Audiobooks.
Yeah, audiobook. I don't know. Genre? Do you have satellite radio in your? I'm assuming
I have
Ford would give you satellite radio.
Yeah,
That's
I have
that's
satellite
a high
radio.
assumption.
I don't know. I'm weird. Obligated. watch movies.
You know what? No, dude, I get it. I get it 100%.
Netflix download.
Netflix.
Yeah.
I started
So
watching
far-
like season 1 of The Boys on Amazon sitting in traffic.
Dude,
Yeah.
okay,
I get it.
Going back to 2007, 8, I was managing it. Casey was living in Sacramento, and I was managing a couple guys up in that area. And every other month or so, I would go up to Sacramento, and I was driving a Dodge. And this was before YouTube and
you
before
made it.
Netflix. But this is when like vlogs, like Revision 3 was a thing.
No,
like
nobody knows what you're talking about.
Anyways, it was when video vlogs were first starting to come out, and I would download them.
Just say
and
you watch
put
movies
and
while
put
you're
them on my
driving.
phone and watch them, and I thought it was the absolute coolest shit in the world. And like now, it's just super easy to do. You can stream it
Yeah.
or download it. Yeah, it's
So movies, what's
yeah,
like
what's
the,
what's
I
been
guess
the
what's
best
the typical
one?
So
movie
when you
or
pull
whatever?
over for a break and stuff, and you
Yeah, when you're
what-
not
when you're not
physically
driving-
on the road and you're pulling
Yeah.
over, what's your favorite movie to watch?
Well, for example, when I pulled over on my way here, I watched a couple Chris Farley movies.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and then I watched what was the one I watched? I watched
Predator.
an old Eddie Murphy movie. He was like a cop or something.
Beverly Hills Cop?
Beverly
Yeah,
Hills
Oh
Cop.
my
You worked
god!
in, like,
how
you
did
know-
how did you not old Eddie Murphy movie
Where
where,
he's
he
like,
was a
I don't
cop?
know.
Cop.
He was a
Dude,
cop or
that's one of the
something? I don't
best
know.
Eddie Murphy movies
I know.
ever.
I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
Yeah.
And he worked in like
Yeah.
Brentwood or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you not? That's awesome. What else? What other things are you doing to keep yourself awake and going?
So what I'll do too is I like getting on my Instagram, and I've gotten to where I used to, a couple years ago, I would ask a lot of questions and let people, ask me stuff, and I would respond, and I hit a rest stop or something, like the gas station. And then now I kind of like to flip it around. I like to put a question out there and then like just see what
the
I get
feedback.
back. Yeah. So I'll do that sometimes, just kind of put out, and I stop for gas like every time now.
Yeah, when you stop and you're in a
Yeah.
drive-through.
Yeah, stretch out.
Yeah.
How are you?
Yeah.
How are you? What are you doing for food? Because you're at home. You're more of a meal prep, like pay attention to what you eat guy. How are you doing that on the road?
So I've got a fridge in the back of the Bronco, and then now with the trailer, there's another fridge. I got two fridges on me. But even if I don't have the trailer, I get Tyson pre-cooked fajita chicken strips, and then broccoli, bell peppers, honey mustard, protein powder, and then a lot of water. So I just, when I get hungry, I eat, but it's clean. Digestion is really important when you're sitting for a long time. You get bloated and eat a bunch of crap, and you just feel like shit when you get where you're going.
Oh,
So
yeah, I've never experienced that. I don't know
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
Every day of my life.
the
So
the honey nut the honey roasted pistachio bag under the desk here does not
Yeah.
mean anything to me.
So, like trail snacks, cranberries, peanuts, just stuff that's light, but still got a lot of, macronutrients to keep me energized, So,
Sour
That's-
Patch Kids.
yeah, definitely, yeah. Definitely not.
What's your new
You
energy?
gotta get some of your vitamin sour. You gotta
what's
just-
your ghost energy drinks that you're drinking now?
Dude, I don't drink those, but it's not like I drink those all the time. It's just when I go out like on off-roading trips, I'll drink that. But yeah,
Oh,
those
man,
Ghost
I
energy-
drink a lot of caffeine. I need to probably cut back on that.
Nah.
No, I drink a lot of coffee.
totally
I drink a
good
lot of
for you.
black coffee.
I do that too. I have at least a half a pot every morning and at least 1 to maybe 2 energy drinks a day. Like I need to cut back.
I'm like 30 to 60 ounces.
Yeah,
every morning.
if you have too many energy drinks, you might end up in the emergency care thinking
Yeah.
you're
That's
going to have a
right.
heart
Those
attack.
Those are just
Yeah.
all vitamins.
As
Yeah.
someone here can attest to.
But you know what? If you have good health insurance, it's only $50 to ride around the
Yeah.
hospital in an ambulance. So
Yeah.
That memory just
I got a lot of attention too, and that was kind of great. I paid for it,
That
but people were paying attention to me.
that memory just popped up in my phone. That's like, hey, memories from 2 years ago when Matt thought he was having a heart attack because he drank too many Red Bulls and I had to take him to the hospital.
That's scary.
It was funny more than anything. Once I knew he wasn't going to die, I laughed a lot. I would have waited till after you died to laugh the same amount.
Worried I was going to die.
Yeah, but then I would have laughed after. I would at least let you.
Everybody heard that.
Die first. Well, what's
what a way
next?
to go out, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too many energy drinks.
What's next, man? What do you? I mean, I feel like you're on this trajectory where you don't know what's coming up, and it's like a constant rise. I mean, if you're thinking about the future, what do you want to see happen?
Man, I would like to somehow some sort of show, man. I would like to be more present, to tell more of a story, to be a little bit more inspiring to people, and I've really professionally published something, whether it be we were working on something 2019 2020 where we're going to do like a 10 episode show, showcasing many states of adventure for people. And of course, when COVID happened, it kind of like threw that all off a little bit. But I would like to do something of that nature where we had, some funding from somewhere to professionally record like 10 episodes, 30 to 40 minutes long, get it on Netflix or Amazon, and really just, life is short, man. And people, I think, don't live it to the best of their abilities. And, I want to help encourage people. It don't have to be as excessive as driving across the country, but just getting a little bit out of the comfort zone, taking a little bit more risk, and just living a little bit more, and so some way capturing something like that.
Right before you said something professional, and then you mentioned like Amazon and Netflix or whatever, I was like, you better watch out, Jose, because it sounds like he's gunning for you on the Trail Chaser podcast.
Well, look, we all.
But then I was like, no, it's talking about real stuff,
like a real thing.
We all know that high-end producers of movie studios are listening to this show. And so any of those super influential millionaires that want to fund someone that's got a vision, first call me. And then if there's anything left over, we'll reach out to Chase and set something up.
You can be the producer.
Dude, I feel like the way you connect with people and the way you tell stories and the going back to the genuine, humble nature of who you are, I feel like that would be something that would be successful if there was a way to get that put together.
Because a lot of the stuff that you do see that is similar to what he just described, it seems like really overproduced and a little over, you know what I'm saying? Like heavily edited or whatever. It'd be cool to see like something really in that way, kind of raw, I guess, and with your experience level and charisma
I think, a lot of stuff I do is camping and extreme off-road oriented, obviously, right? So, and I think, there's lots of states of adventure for lots of people. Some people fly fish every single day. Some people ski. Some people, whatever it is that they do, I would like to bring other individuals in and then maybe do their adventure together with that individual and let that person kind of shine some light on that state of adventure, because it'll resonate with more than just my sort of demographic, and it'll allow me to learn things, and then let other people know that, like, hey, what you do is also rad, and then the masses that out there do it themselves, like, hey, that's what I do every day or whatever, so just different things.
I think that's a great idea, and where you can take someone like yourself that is a lifelong adventurer and then still experience the activities with other people that you've never done before or you're not familiar with, and bring those two communities together.
He can be like the Mike Rowe of off-roading.
That's
I was gonna go with like the Bear Grylls, where they take like Marshawn Lynch and drop him in the forest, and they all have to. What was that show called where they took celebrities?
Average Joes.
Is that what it was?
Is that what it was? Yeah.
That was the name of the dodgeball team on the show Dodgeball.
Yes.
Duck, dive, dodge.
Yeah. You can dodge a wrench. You can dodge a ball.
You need to watch that one the next time you pull over and play.
Yeah, that's on the list.
Well, dude, look, one of the things that I love about connecting with you is that you're super easy to talk to, and we've hung out a handful of times, and every time we hang out, it's like we just saw each other a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And that plays into who you are as a person and what you're doing. And I'm very excited for you. I'm impressed with what you have built. You and your wife both. And I'm super appreciative that you take the time to connect with people, not only us, but the people in your community, and go out of your way to try to be an inspiration to people, whether it's intentional or not. It's inspiring people to go outdoors, to experience things, to get out of their comfort zone, and grow into something bigger than they thought they could.
Yeah, man. Well, I thank you. And, the feeling is definitely reciprocated because I just. Like I said, man, I'm just a normal guy, and for people wanting to spend time, that's a big deal,
Jeff. we're working here, man. 2 more minutes. We're almost done.
Turn that machine off.
Hey, Ma.
Put that bag back on your head. But with the compressor in the background and everything, man, we appreciate everything you're doing and and we're looking forward to seeing where you go next. And hope that we can be part of it at some point and get to catch up with you again in the future.
Yeah, definitely, man. Thank you guys again so much.
All right, dude. Have a great night.
You as well.
Thanks, man.
All right, bye, guys.
Good night.
Okay.
Is that a mill saw?
It's a compressor.
Yeah, it's a compressor.
Me and my son still talk about those glasses that you gave us at the Hammers.
Yes.
I
still have a pair of the glasses you gave me at the Hammers in case you tried to steal them the other day.
Oh,
every time.
Ronnie
We're
wears them all the
like,
time.
God, remember those glasses? Those were such good glasses.
Text me. One of you guys text me all your addresses. I'll send you guys a box of them. I have
Nice.
several left.
No
Nice.
shit.
I actually
still
have a
have
box
the
with me.
hat,
I'm
too.
handing them out at the show.
Yeah, I still have the hat too.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's awesome, man.
I'll text you my address. Are you coming down to California anytime in the future?
KOH, man. That's the next
Okay.
for sure thing. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll be there for sure. I don't know that I'll be there for Trail Chasers for sure.
How about SEMA?
I don't
You
know.
doing SEMA?
I don't know. Ford had me there last year. This year, we're not recording anymore, are we?
We're not recording. We're still live.
We're
still
live
live
on
yeah.
YouTube.
So you and I'll connect. You and I'll connect offline and talk about our schedule.
I suspect Ford will be cutting your feet here in a minute.
We'll talk offline about your schedule, but I guess my point was either KOH or SEMA or something down here in the Southwest. When you come down, let's connect. But I will be at both. For sure confirmed for SEMA and KOH in some capacity.
Okay. Are you just gonna be like are you gonna have a booth at SEMA somehow? Or
No, we're just media. Just cover. Just
okay,
go.
gotcha.
Just walk around and shenanigans like we did last year.
I presume I'll be there, but I don't have exacts.
Okay.
So.
All right, man. Well,
Copy
look,
that.
we appreciate it, and we dig hanging out with you, man. You're a bunch of fun, and thanks for talking to us. And we'll
man. Thank you guys, dude. Seriously, it means a lot that you guys wanted to chat with me again. So thank you.
Anytime, dude. You have an open invitation. Anytime you want to come on, you got something to talk about.
If you want to co-host or whatever.
I mean, if you want to just be a reoccurring guest.
Yes. If you want to replace somebody on the show, including
just
me,
call them out.
Just pick.
Just call them out.
You
know what?
Just pick. I'll sit in the back and just edit. That's all I'll do.
I don't like Matt that much, but I like your show. I'll fill in for him.
You know what we're gonna have to do? We're gonna have to do a where we take a break and let Chase run the show for a couple weeks, and then no, because then no one will want us back.
Yeah,
never
no,
mind.
then we're done.
Never mind. That's
start another show.
Yeah, we'll have to start all over again.
The Mail Chasers or whatever it's about.
What? Why are you chasing
Wait,
dudes?
I don't want to be on that show. I don't want to be on that show.
No, you were chasing dudes.
We're really into zip codes.
Look, you gave me shit about Buffalo Wild Wings. You went right to dude chasing on that one.
I was talking about zip codes.
Even MAIL.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about the mail.
All right, dude. Well, look, thank you so much. You have a great night, and we'll catch up with you next time.
Sounds good, guys. Y'all have a good one.
Bye.
Thanks, Chase.
Bye.
We should do a mail chasers.
MAIL.
Yeah.
You can
pull
just
up
hang out,
random,
Chase.
Just like random ass zip codes.
Could be snail chasers, like the with the snail trail guys. Snail chasers.
Snail trail?
3, 2, 1. Let's do snail tracers and have like an orange snail and do the whole exact logo as Snail Trail, just with orange and some mountains in the back.
It'll be a mirrored image, so
Yeah, we'll do it the other direction. 100%, we're doing snail tracers.
And it would be good.
That was wicked. I got to see Jimmy. I got to see Jimmy this weekend at the expo, and
we did not.
No, you did.
Must be nice.
So
bro.
what did you guys do this weekend?
Fucking
I
went
saw
to Target.
Thor.
Oh, it was epic. We cleaned the house.
Yeah,
and
for
then,
sure.
Did some chores and stuff, and then went to doctor's appointments.
Yeah. Did they identify that rat?
There was all kinds of cars there at the hospital and stuff. It was cool.
Yeah. So what I
wheelchairs and stuff.
What I did was the Overland Expo PNW this weekend, and I am still recovering. Matt shows up. He's like, "How you doing?" I said, "I'm kind of tired." He's like, "Yeah, you look like shit."
Look like shit.
I didn't get home till 1 o'clock last night.
Were you raped? Should I call for help or something?
I didn't get
Show
home.
me on this doll where.
Yeah. I didn't get home till 1 o'clock last night.
Did you change your clothes or
yes,
nothing? Or
yes.
have you been just living in your clothes since then? I don't know. I was worried about you.
Is this a safe assumption that that booth looked very busy?
Dude. So I'll give
how many awnings did you have to load at the end of it?
Oh my god, dude!
I walked. Hold on. I had my watch on. I walked an average of 6.5 miles over the course of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. 6.5 miles a day for 6 days straight.
Yeah, but within a
20 by 40 square. It was ridiculous. I flew up to Portland on Wednesday. The Uber dropped me off at the office. I literally set my bags down in the warehouse, and we were loading the U-Haul. We loaded up a 26-foot U-Haul with our display unit and product and everything. Thursday morning, I left Portland, and I drove 3.5-4 hours down to the Deschutes County Fairgrounds where the event was.
And you could confirm it was Deschutes.
The what?
Deschutes. The what? The who?
The
who? And it was. I was telling these guys a little earlier. The drive from Portland down to it's actually near the city of Redmond and Bend, was absolutely gorgeous. I was driving parallel to a big river that had a reservoir and a dam and trees bigger than you've ever seen in your life.
Sounds like the 91.
Yeah.
You just described the 91 and the 71, dude. There was a dam. I saw some water. What?
That's like the 605 by Irvingdale, dude.
Exactly.
It was not the
Beautiful.
605.
That sounds amazing. Sounds
Um,
amazing. Go on. There was concrete.
There was
a
road.
road.
There's roads and
many
trees.
steps and columns.
So we get down there Thursday and we set up our booth, and the booth consisted of what's called our Iron Man Outpost, which is a display kiosk that we designed and built, and it's extremely heavy and big because it was not designed to be a mobile unit. It was designed to be an in-store display, and we decided to test it on this in this space. And
are the batteries part of the weight to that?
No,
unit?
we added the batteries
unit?
after the fact.
That photo that was just off the 605,
Yeah.
right? That right there,
Dude, that's 605 and
Lower Azusa Avenue. Yeah. No, I know that. That's the off ramp.
So Thursday we did all the setup, and
Sriracha plant.
Thursday we did all the setup. You guys are going back 2 jokes ago. Thursday we did all the setup.
Just wait.
I know.
Still a lot of the show to go to.
And Iron Man had 2 vehicles that were at the Nexon Ride and Drive course with the Nexon tires on them. We'll talk about the Rodian ATXs in a minute. So those 2 vehicles, and the original plan was I was going to be participating in the Ride and Drive at the Nexon booth, but we were so busy at the Iron Man booth that I couldn't. Fortunately, Paul had enough people to do it without me, and I was running at our booth, and we were talking to people. We were selling products. We were giving away T-shirts. We were demonstrating things. We were busy from start to finish all day, and didn't get a chance to really do much at the show. I had the opportunity to meet up with a handful of people that either knew of us from Southern California or have listened to the show. Like I said, Chris from Antelope Valley Overland showed up and said hi. Jimmy from Snail Trail was there. Guy from Ram Mounts that I've been talking to online a little bit. People showed up. I got to see Mike from Shower Pouch. I tried to get over to the skills place where Shelby Hall is. I wanted to meet up with her and say hi. Yola was there. Chase was there. I didn't get a chance to connect with them. There were a lot of people that I wanted to try to have some connection with and just didn't get the chance to leave. The event itself was giant. It was super big, and like I had mentioned to Chase earlier, when I did...
Would you say it was mega big?
Sure.
Okay.
It's
bigger than super.
On Saturday, I went to get lunch, and right behind us was the Epic Corn Dog truck. And
I'm listening.
Continue.
I had an Epic Corn Dog on Friday, and it was super effing good. And I went back.
Right there.
Wait. I mean, you just
how many bites?
No detail about the.
Look,
well, hey,
it
what?
was
Yeah.
it
Whoa.
was
Whoa.
it was about 3 foot long, right? about that. It's about this big, and it's about 6 inches in girth, right?
Okay.
It's anyways it was super good, and you could get one bacon wrapped, and I just went with the classic because I wanted to try it.
Amateur.
And then. So that was Friday.
Fucking amateur.
On Friday.
Did they do mega cheese on a stick?
I don't give a fuck what it is. Hey, man, you go to Thrifty Ice Cream.
Anything?
Yeah, Thrifty Ice Cream. They're going to put your bacon wrap, your rainbow sherbet. You put that shit, you wrap that bitch in bacon. Every fucking time. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. Sorry to interject.
That's probably really
Did they have a mega cheese on a stick?
Doesn't sound horrible, does it? No, it does
No,
not.
I don't think that they did. So Saturday,
Sir, would you like me to wrap whatever in bacon? Yeah. You shouldn't even have to think about it.
Wrap it, crumble it up, and put it on. I don't give a shit.
What else can you do with the bacon?
So Saturday, during the show, we were taking turns going to get food and stuff, and I went over to the corn dog line, and everybody figured it out. And the corn dog line was super long. So I was like, shit, I'm going to see what else there is. And so
Why is it so funny, the corn dog line?
How much was this corn dog?
$10.
Okay.
It was a $10. It was a $10 corn dog, and I would buy it and eat it right now if it was in front of me. That's how good it was. So the center of this event center,
with inflation, I take it back. That's not too bad.
Not too bad.
Right.
It's not bad at all.
3-footer? Yeah.
Not for a 3-footer.
6-inch girth. I mean, all right, I take it back.
Holy shit.
I want to see the factory that's pumping out these fucking corn dogs.
You know what? I don't want to see that factory. I think I'd avoid that factory and just be happy with my 3-foot.
They make other stuff in that factory.
Yeah.
But
exactly. I'll take my 3-foot bacon wrap. Shit,
but the corn dog division
They
is
use this same mold.
They use the same
and
mold.
silicone in it.
It's every other one is the corn dog.
Oh shit! now
You
I'm
crossed the line, Jose.
now I'm looking in my email for my corn dog receipt so I can tell you who made it.
I'm going to just look it up on how it's made.
Yeah.
Hold on. My corn dog receipt.
He does. You had to expense that shit.
Yeah.
That's right. $10, you better. Yeah.
I'm trying to find.
Yeah, times 3?
Absolutely.
I'm trying
Why
to
do you have 45 receipts?
You're telling me you spent $450 on a corn dog?
Wouldn't you? Of course I did. Shit.
Oh man. Okay, look. These were good ass corn dogs, right? So going back, I had.
I believe it.
I'm trying to find my corn dog receipt here.
Dude, look, just move on, dude, please. Don't feed the dragon. Like, we're already running hot on corn dogs and whatever. Just, please.
So
I'm asking you to move on.
So
I'm asking you to move. Let's move on.
So the event, the way the event was set up is there's a giant loop in the middle, and then different quadrants off the side. So I thought I'd go look for more food, and I basically did a loop around the middle. And
back to the corn
by
dog.
The time I came back, the corn dog wagon was shorter, and I was like, whatever, I'm eating a corn dog.
Son of a bitch.
So I had about 30 minutes to just walk around and quickly see what was going on, and everybody was there, like every vehicle manufacturer from obviously Toyota and Ford and everything, but like even the Hummer EV was there, and trailer manufacturers. There was a significant amount. We had this conversation 2 weeks ago when we talked about the best overland vehicles and those $500,000 earth roamer vehicles.
No.
They were there
everywhere.
What?
Oh yeah, everywhere. It was a sea.
Wow.
I will tell you, at first I was like, this is some bullshit.
A lot of corn dog money.
Because we had on the side, on both sides and in back of us, we had those companies with those giant earth mover type vehicles, and they roll in. The crazy thing is when that's what you're selling, you roll in, open the doors, your setup is done. At 3:00, you couldn't break down till 3:00. At 3:05, all of those booths were empty because all they did is shut the doors and drive away. Like there was no tents, there was no display modules, there was nothing. It was all self-contained, which is what they're selling, right? And those things are pretty massive.
So I'm just going along with that. I was listening to a podcast today where this person's was their first time at any expo, and their takeaway was that it's very bougie. Like, so there's like a lot of money being thrown around at these places now. I mean, is this like an overlanding thing now, or is it just like rich people thing now? Especially with those earth roamer things, like, dude, they're like $500,000. Like, who the hell is gonna really, one, who's gonna buy that stuff, and then two, are you really gonna like? You can't take that shit up to Big Bear like that trail we did. We can't take that on my mountain.
No.
White Mountain.
Even like 3N16, you'll just be clipping fucking trees and shit above you like the whole time.
Or like if you had a Unimog, like those are cool, right? But like, dude, they're just way too big. I don't know. I think, to me, I feel like the Overland Expos are losing what they originally started as.
Mm-hmm.
Just like getting
like those...
and no matter what you drove, like it's just roughing it and just seeing the world. But now it's more about the equipment than it is the actual adventure.
But I think I look at it this way: it's the venue, right? Like you're just trying to fill that venue with people that are showing stuff. So obviously they got the money to buy that spot, and they're just taking it up. They're just filling that space.
Agreed.
But I don't think it's necessarily overtaking the industry, or the industry is falling away and becoming an elitist.
It just feels like the industry is more about the equipment and all the shit you need to do this stuff.
Jose, do you want to start an expo at the Walmart parking lot on Foothill and the 15 freeway, and it'd just be me and you and a couple of like cheap ass sticker providers? You know, like we could do it. Me and you.
Here's the way I would.
I haven't easy yet.
Here's the way I would say it: is that
I have an awning.
That the roots of overlanding started with, like what you said, Jose, with like, okay, I've got a Toyota 4Runner.
It could be whatever, an old Mercedes truck or whatever.
And I think what's happened is that you've seen an expansion in the market because of its popularity on both ends of the spectrum, right? So everything from the cheap products that people are buying for pennies on the dollar, to the super expensive,
to the over-engineered stuff, which is like the cream of the crop, right?
But the core companies and tools and philosophies of overlanding are still represented. They have not gone away. But if you happen to be someone that wants to get into this and has $500,000, that option is there for you, right?
Yeah.
So yes, there was a shit ton of money there, but depending on what you were looking for, if you wanted that, you would find it.
Yeah.
If you were looking for a great deal on a soft shackle, that was their tool.
That makes sense. Like I guess if the show's big enough and you can showcase higher end stuff, that just I don't see a problem with that. Like again, the Kardashians. Oh wow, that looks like fun. I want to do the Mojave Trail, but I don't want to do it in a Tacoma. What do we have to do it in? Oh, I guess if you want to blow $500,000. How much? Let me pull that out of my couch cushions or whatever, and then they go ahead.
I didn't
and
think
do
that's
that.
where you're gonna go with that.
Neither did I.
I'm trying to maintain.
Buffalo
Well, they gotta cater
PG
to
rating.
everyone, from the dude who has $100 in his account to the dude that has
All it takes is
$1 million
like one
in his
time for
account.
that
You know what I mean?
$500,000 rig to get sold, and it's like they just made their nut for like half a year
I
or
don't
whatever.
know, dude. It has to cost a lot
There's-
of money to make those trucks,
Yeah,
dude.
look, I guarantee
There's-
there's markup on those, but
The margins have to be tight on those.
I
things,
can't
dude.
imagine the margins are more than.
Why would you say the margins are low? Do you think they're really concerned with margins? That's high end
Yeah,
shit. They're
because-
not worried about. It's selling.
But
This is what you get.
yes, but
Realistically, how many people are
In-
gonna buy that?
The
in
people that are going to buy it just know they're getting the best thing, and they don't know how much a refrigerator costs
But-
or what it cost. What did it take to put it in wherever they put it?
at the beginning, when there was one company making them, yes, they went, this is what it costs. If you want it, buy it. Problem is, there's now 100 companies making those types of vehicles.
Like Monster Garage.
Yeah. And they're now in the position of competing with each other just like everybody else.
Well, not only that, there's more manufacturers of everything, so
Yes.
now the cost of everything has gone down.
Yeah.
Sort of. But
yes, so I'm sure that there's good margin in them, but I don't agree that if they sell one, they've made their nut for the entire year. They have a volume of vehicles that they need to sell to maintain their operation based on margin, and that margin is dictated by the market, by what the consumers are willing to pay.
I'll tell you what. I'll build one of those and just sell one, and that'd be good enough for me.
well, it's crazy though. Is that there's a market for that stuff. Like that.
There's a company that sprung up here. They've just been getting sprinters, gutting them, and building beds and like kitchens and shit like that inside of them, and then just selling them.
but even
van
those,
life.
even those go for like 100,000.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're they're working like 7 days a week, and they always have like at least 5 sprinters in there
that's crazy,
that they're
dude.
messing around with.
Mm-hmm.
We're stupid. Like we're
What are we
doing,
doing?
we're doing something wrong.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of things wrong. Let's be clear. But there was a very broad range of consumers and companies and opportunities all at this event. And going back to your original comment, Jose, yes, the Ironman booth was nonstop all 3 days. The minute we thought we had an opportunity to relax for a second, it would turn right around. And it was fun. It was a lot of work. I'm absolutely aghast, but having the opportunity to talk to people and what are you driving and what are you trying to accomplish? And we have this. I sold the shit out of our Bush toilets.
I was about to say, I heard those toilets are a big
The
hit.
toilet. So here's
Did you take a dump in one right there?
No, no. So here's the thing: if you had
Yeah,
asked,
too many corn dogs.
yeah,
you know
if
what
you
I
had
mean.
asked me on Monday, because everything in the booth was 25% off. If you had asked me on Monday what was going to be the big sellers, I would not have said Bush toilets, showers, or collapsible Tupperware. All 3 of those, we couldn't keep them. Like we were running back to the truck to get them because we were running out of them so fast. So the smaller carrier-away items. But one of the things that I loved about like being in the booth and having these conversations is I could speak to, this is the shower. I've used it. I have one. This is what it does. This suspension, we just put it on my buddy's 80 series, and this is how he feels about it, and this is what's going on. Like the ability to genuinely talk about the product to these people, I felt really good about having the conversation with everybody. Everything was 25% off. We had we probably took 100 awnings and we didn't sell any. I think we sold like one on Friday, a couple on Saturday.
Fire sale.
And I was like, please do not make me load these things up on Sunday. So we decided
50% off, huh?
And it was a great deal. And I really got to say, I missed you guys because I was standing out.
Because you wanted us to help load those awnings?
Load the unsold ones?
All three of you are worthless. Okay, I take it back. Casey's good. No, because I was standing out in the aisle barking at people, and all I wanted was you guys there with the PAs and the microphones to just yuck. Like people would walk by, I'd be like, "Excuse me, you look super hot. I have an awning that could give you some shade. Let's talk about it." Like trying to drag people in, trying to sell the toilets. I think it would have been a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I don't want to speak for the rest of us, but I'm pretty sure we were all just sitting here waiting for, like an invite.
Yeah. What you needed was a real carnival barker.
Yes,
You needed somebody to bring you in, Barnum and Bailey style.
100%.
And next thing you're walking out with a awning you didn't even know you needed.
Yes.
You didn't even have a truck or nothing to mount it to. It's just, you know what, fuck it, I'll mount it on the side of my house. But that guy Matt was a hell of a salesman.
Yeah,
yep.
He got me in there and got the deal 50% off. I
Yeah.
couldn't argue against.
Yeah.
Was there alcohol?
No.
Well, you missed out on that too.
No. Well, I'm sure there. I believe there was some there.
There would have been if we were there.
We would have sold the shit out.
It'd have been sitting in that Iron Man fridge.
Hell yeah. That fridge and that toilet would have been used a lot.
We'd have jammed a bunch of awnings in Jose's box.
Yeah.
And just been kicking them out.
Jose, shoot one of those over to me.
Did you see any Nissan Frontiers there?
I did not. So I did not see very many Frontiers or any that I can recall off the top of my head. They had the new Toyota Sequoia there. I did get to glance at that, but they had like the sport version that's lowered with the 20-inch wheels.
Oh, cool.
Because they said they couldn't get anything else.
I think the season of the mid-size truck is over, and it's all full-size and van life shit.
I don't know. There was still a billion Tacomas.
Yeah.
And
what a great selling point for the Sequoia. Like we couldn't get anything but this one.
But
you're Toyota. What do you mean you couldn't get another one? You make them.
Yeah, but we sell them so fast we couldn't get another one. That's Toyota. That's me being Mr. Toyota.
I
true.
saw
that would have been the
Frank.
response.
Frank Toyota.
Frank Toyota.
Frank Toyota.
I saw a couple vehicles that had a couple trucks that eliminated the bed and did the flat bed with the bins underneath and I'm just I really like that look. I just don't know if I want to commit. But
committed to the rack, you commit to that.
Yeah, literally set the rack on top of the flatbed. So let's see what else. And then Sunday morning, we got set up quick, and I had 20 minutes before the show started, and I darted to try to go see a couple people. I got to talk to Mike at the Shower Pouch, but like I was telling Chase earlier, in some of the we were fortunate enough to be on an end aisle, not on the corner. I wish we were on a corner, but on the end aisle. In some of the center areas, it was. You think back to when like the first person that had those arching flags out in front of their shop, and then people brought them to their tents. Picture 4,000 of the same exact arching flag with different logos on. I'm like, you can't even see the one behind the one that's behind the one to find out where the booths are. And a lot of the vendors were camping like in their booth.
Yeah.
Which just created a lot of congestion. There was plenty of aisle space and walking, but it wasn't like Casey mentioned Expo at the Off-Road Expo at Pomona, where there's a clear delineation of, I can look down the aisle and go, there's this company, there's that company. I had some difficulty doing that because everything was so packed on top of each other that it was hard to...
They'll probably address that next year.
Yeah. There was still plenty of space, too. I think that on the outskirts, they had a couple really big tents for they were doing... training and industry conversations where people were doing presentations and stuff. They could have moved that further out and still had plenty of room. The only issue with that is that I believe with the success of the event this year,
it's just
even more
chaos.
vendors are going to come next year, right? It's going to be that much harder to do.
How did you even get to see the ride and drive?
I did. I did. I actually ran the course in the morning when we dropped off the course. In the morning when we dropped off the vehicles, I had the Subaru and I drove it over there to drop it off, and I went whoop, whoop, and ran the course. It was pretty cool. It was like 3 whoops, but bigger whoops where you're going up and over. 1, 2, 3 berms, and then a really tall up and over where like you get to the top and you can't see anything past your hood and you come down. And the Subaru, the Tacoma, and then Paul's Nexen Gladiator were in the ride and drive. The Gladiator had the MTX, the Tacoma had the ATX, and the Subaru had the HTX, the highway train. The ATX. So going back to the ATXs, they look really nice. They look really nice. I think we've seen pictures of them. It's kind of what you've expected with the more all-terrain tread down the center. But it has an aggressive sidewall, which I like. I only drove the Tacoma in the booth in the event center, so I wasn't going over like 5 miles an hour. But
in the booth, 5 miles an hour.
But the VP of sales that brought it down, he was the Tacoma was on a different set of vehicles a different set of tires prior to this. Mm-hmm. He said there was a noticeable difference in how quiet and nice the ATX ran all the way down. He'd been driving that Tacoma for a while, and he said this was a huge improvement on the sound and handling of the vehicle. So that, to me, that's a good endorsement. They definitely handled the terrain of the course, which wasn't anything major, but I'm interested to. I'm excited to get those on someone's vehicle and get to test them out soon. And we're going to work in the background to see if we can make that happen. What else? Like any other questions? What do you guys? I know you guys didn't go, but is there any other thoughts, or did you guys follow any of the social media stuff for the event?
I saw posts here and there from like all the different people I follow, and I don't think you could get the experience through social media. You know what I mean? But it spoke as like the off-road expo to me, because that's the only thing I can really compare it to, really. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Like as a personal experience.
Yeah. Tim is asking about our Man on the Streets reporter. I did see Sam and his wife there and got to talk to them a couple times. They were awesome. They gathered a bunch of stuff. He handed me over the recorder and a flash drive with a bunch of video on it, and I barely opened like 2 of the files at 6 o'clock tonight. I didn't get home. I didn't get off the plane till 1 o'clock. I didn't get off the plane till after 12. I didn't get home till after 1. And then I had a whole day of trying to catch up on some work stuff. So over the course of this week, I will go through some of that content, and hopefully we can pull some of that together for next week's show. So,
what if we just watched it like as he sent it to us during the episode and made comments like Mystery Science Theater style?
I don't know. I would like to I would like to review it to see what happens first. But the thank you to Sam from Red Hills Overland for handling that. He did quite a bit of posting on his own page as well, his Instagram page as well.
Did you get any cool stickers?
Yes. Hold on. One thing Sam did.
What? He's reaching for a bag.
A fanny pack.
Sam
a corn dog.
Sam got a bunch of swag for us while he was walking around, and he does not know this. Hold on, I'm gonna cover my. Casey won't be able to see it, but I'm gonna cover my camera for a specific reason, because Sam did not know about this company. And how we feel about that company.
That's hilarious.
That is hilarious.
And there's several Casey. It's the company that was had equipment on my
provided
Tacoma.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So there's there's a lot.
I got it.
There's a lot of swag.
Oh, you didn't stop by their booth and say hello?
I did not stop by their booth and say hello. I did
hilarious.
see them. They were like all over the place, and they were handing out backpacks and stuff. So I thought it was. I thought
busted suspension.
I thought it was super funny. I thought it was super funny. He handed me this backpack. I didn't say anything. I just kind of smiled. But yeah, there's a whole bag here.
Well, now he knows.
Yeah. There's a whole bag here of swag from various organizations, and I want to go through them and just look each one of them up. Lolo Overland, which is a dealer up there in.
What about Tasty Chapstick?
No, but I can tell you about some Chasey Chapstick.
I'm sorry.
Say that 5 times.
Some
Say what?
Tasty Chapstick.
So some Chasey Chapstick. So I got to, as I was getting off the freeway to go to the airport, I got a notice that my departing flight from Portland was delayed 2 hours. So I went and tried to find something to eat and just kind of hang around. And there is a Tillamook store in the Portland airport.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you that aren't familiar, Tillamook makes a lot of ice cream and dairy and cheese. And they had Tillamook French vanilla chapstick. And it tastes like the Tillamook French vanilla ice cream.
Did you eat it?
I bought it and licked my lips a lot.
I wouldn't mind some cheddar chapstick.
So, you know, now that you say that, some cheddar cheese, Tillamook cheddar cheese chapstick.
Maybe not the pepper jack, because that seems counterproductive.
Yes.
It's a nice cheddar, even Havarti. I'd go with Havarti chapstick. That's
Gorgonzola.
good. I like Havarti. I like Havarti.
Gorgonzola.
Some cheese aficionados here, huh?
So anyways, I'm gonna go through a bunch of these. I'll go through a bunch of these patches and stuff with the guys.
We don't need those thinking patches.
And find out if there's anybody in
Thanks,
here
Case.
that we want to reach out.
You beat me to that punch right there.
Patches. But it was a cool experience. I think
so.
that,
Is the Trail Chasers going to have a booth there next year? That's all I want to know.
I would like to
Sounds
say
like a no.
That's a hard no.
I would like to say yes, but I can't imagine. Well, I know for a fact that it was not cheap. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So,
yeah, but we just signed that deal with Spotify. Oh, can
well,
we
yeah.
talk about
Do you know who we are?
that? Yeah, don't you know who we are?
let's go to Buffalo Wild Wings
Yeah,
first.
You
and
gotta
see
throw
if
your
that
hands
works.
up in the air.
Let's see if we can get some free chicken first.
What we have to do is practice walking into venues with our hands up in the air and go, "Do you know who the hell we are?" As we drag all our stuff in, and then hopefully find a blank space to set up.
You guys got an extension cord?
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Casey, I think it would be an awesome event to attend, and get the chance to interact with a bunch of people in the community up in that area, and I would love to. But that's one of those things we have to figure out how to pull that off in a
lot of logistics
from a financial and time off of work perspective. So
Yeah, did you get any silicone corn dog stickers or no?
I did not get any silicone. I did find the it's called the Corn Dog Company, literally called the Corn Dog Company. Look them up because it was good stuff. I had corn dogs all 3 days. That's what I ate for lunch every day. It was an
No wonder you feel like shit. Did you listen to anything Case Gentry said?
Yeah.
Dude, look. There's no chance of me
fajita
looking
chicken
or feeling like Chase Gentry at any
When
point.
you eat 3-foot corn dogs 3 days in a row.
In one bite.
When you eat like a duck.
It's a talent. It's a skill. It takes time to develop. But
make a reel out of that for sure.
Yeah, it's called the Corn Dog Company. Shaka Dogs, SHAKA Dogs LLC.
There you go.
So check out Shaka Dogs LLC, and you'll see what the corn dogs were all about. All right. Well, I'm super glad to be home. I miss my girls quite a bit, and looking forward to spending some time here. I got to go back up to Portland in a couple weeks, and then
Is that what you call us now?
my girls? No. Outside of this room, there's my girls. In this room is my bitches. My hoes. So looking forward to. Jose had sent a text message about scheduling a trip, and we'll spend some time working on that. About when we're going to do another trip soon, around some of our schedules for stuff we got going on. But thank you for everybody that commented and looked at the social media stuff that we put up over the weekend from PNW, and thank you to Chase for joining us tonight, and thank you for everybody in the chat room for hanging out. Anything else, guys, that you want to any other topics or things you want to touch base on before we cut loose so I can go to bed soon?
Nope.
You guys, shaking your head doesn't. All three of you are just shaking your head, not saying anything.
I said
I
nope.
thought the silence did it, but
okay. All right. Well, I appreciate it, guys. We will. I think we have an interview scheduled for next week, but I don't remember who it was off the top of my head. And
Shelby Hall.
No, not yet. We're working on that one in the backgrounds.
Devon White.
I'm not sure who that is. Who is Devon?
Oh,
White?
come on, dude.
I don't know.
Right, well, I'll leave it out there.
Do
your own research.
So,
Steve Garvey.
Kelly from Adventure Built.
That was too easy.
Kelly from Adventure Built. They do a social media podcast thing. They're coming on next week.
Cool.
Yeah, it would be cool. All right. Well, thank you to everybody for joining us tonight. We appreciate it, and we will talk to you next week.
Laters.
You're all right, dude. You okay?
Yeah, I was like,
the third time
I
you've
was
gone to the
gonna
bathroom.
dress, and I'm like, dude, go take a shit.
What's